The attacks began at dawn. Palestinian militants in Gaza fired thousands of rockets at targets in southern Israel. Not all of them could be intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. At the same time, hundreds of Hamas fighters broke through the border fence into Israel. The attackers also used combat drones. The goal, according to Hamas, make Israel bleed.
We have decided to put an end to Israel's misdeeds with God's help.
Israel called up hundreds of thousands of military reservists.
Citizens of Israel, we are at war, not in an operation, but at war. The enemy will pay an unprecedented price. In the meantime, I call on the citizens of Israel to strictly adhere to the directives of the IDF and Homefront Command. We are at war, and we will win.
It's sad. It's tragic. We're at war, and I don't know when it will all end.
Shortly after the rocket attacks, Israel launched airstrikes against Hamas targets in Gaza, the beginning of Operation Iron Sword.
Several buildings were flattened in the densely populated Gaza city.
Everyone fled when the shells started. We woke up to the sounds of rockets. We have little children. We've experienced 5 wars before and know all about it.
Israeli airstrikes continued throughout the night. And so did the rocket fire coming from Gaza. And it gets worse. This woman, said to be an Israeli soldier, is just one of dozens of hostages seized by the militants after they invaded. Israel vows retribution.
Hamas was more barbaric and more brutal than ISIS.
Scenes of terror at a rave in the desert. Hamas terrorists opened fire on the crowds and chased people down, taking hostages. One woman said she hid in a citrus grove to stay alive. This video shows a terrified young woman driven away on a motorbike by fighters, while her partner is marched away, his hands tied behind his back. The aftermath: hundreds of dead bodies, charred vehicles along the road. A few were lucky. This footage purportedly shows a hostage rescue, Israeli forces freeing people after a fierce gun battle with Hamas. Foreign nationals were also taken. One hostage's mother made an appeal from Germany.
We were sent a video in which I clearly recognized my daughter, she said, unconscious in a car with the Palestinians who drove along the Gaza Strip. I am asking for any news or help to please be sent to us.
Israeli tanks gather in fields outside Gaza.
We are imposing a complete siege on Gaza. There will be no electricity, no food, no water, no fuel. Everything will be closed. We are fighting against human animals, and we are acting accordingly.
Hospitals in Gaza are already feeling the effects of the blockade. They're running out of critical supplies to treat the many injured by the ongoing strikes.
Unfortunately, the amount of medical supplies we need to deal with these injuries is insufficient.
This is the Sderot police station, or what's left of it, and it's the scene of one of the biggest battles during this ordeal. Hamas militants were holed up inside, and the Israeli military were caught up in a 20-hour gun battle.
I've been through wars, but nothing like this, nothing like animals and who slaughters and butchers our kids and sisters and our fathers and our children and our babies and everything. Such a cruelty.
Israel has responded to the attacks with massive airstrikes on the Gaza Strip. The Israeli government told Gazans to evacuate, but the territory is trapped between Israel and Egypt and the sea.
We'd fled to escape death. There were continuous airstrikes.
The Israelis told us to come down to Khan Yunis, but we only found death there.
In Tel Aviv, Yam Hadari has also been looking for her friend Ram. He was working at the festival. They have known each other since they were teenagers.
In the text message, he says that he loves them, his family, but he's in a container. There are a lot of terrorists outside, lots of gunshots outside, and it does not seem like they are going to make it out of there alive.
Friends and family scoured social media for a sign of life. They didn't know what had happened to him. But then a text message arrives.
I was just asking Ram's wife, Lilach, if she can send me one of his pictures so I can send it to you. It's from their wedding day, and she says that they told them now officially that he's dead. His family knows already.
He's one of the many killed in this attack.
Israel says it has destroyed the homes of many members of Hamas, the militant Islamist group viewed as a terrorist organization by the EU and the US. It has also imposed a siege on the Gaza Strip, stopping the supply of food, fuel, and medicines.
How is this our fault? What did my children do? There's no electricity, internet, food, or water. Why?
How are you distinguishing between Hamas terrorists, your enemy, and innocent civilians?
The IDF is targeting Hamas military targets. The problem is, and we've been saying this for years, that Hamas is hiding behind their people.
The crisis prompted Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to put aside political differences and form an emergency government.
The state of Israel will be the strongest state in the region.
Israel's Western allies are also rallying round, like UK Foreign Secretary James Cleverly, seen here running for cover during a red alert.
Let's see. Sorry it's under these circumstances.
Thank you tremendously.
We're here. We're not going anywhere.
At this moment, there is only one place for Germany, at the side of Israel.
So too, Jews around the world, like worshippers here in France, praying for Israel. While Muslims rallied for Palestinians in Bangladesh, Malaysia, and Egypt. Sorrow, fear, and anger tears through the diaspora on both sides.